This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace.
Hello, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Grace.
And I'm Alexis.
And we're back to continue our arc. And this week, Alexis is going to tell us her tale. We're recording on an evening, which is different than us. So I always feel like it's going to be a wild card when we're doing evening recordings. So,
we're in a whole different state of mind right now.
Let's see what happens. Alexis's building could be doing some work. We're probably not in the... we're probably not going to hit it, but I don't know. They could start early. The contractors could arrive early for once.
Yeah, right. For once, they actually
the
show
one
up
time.
Early. The one time I need them not to.
And her power goes out. So,
yes, as Ron Swanson once said, contractors are literally the most miserable people on this earth. Just kidding to any contractors listening right now.
Miserable because you have to work with us, the public. That's why, not you.
Yeah, you're not
as
you
an
personally.
individual.
It's a byproduct of the job. So sorry about that.
It's not your fault. Not your fault. Yes. So we're gonna go, I'm sure, get into some spooky stuff. I'm ready to see what Mosley slash Momo get up to. I had to pause to remember our name we gave him.
Yes, yeah. Although that might be confusing Momo and Mimi. Did we say that last week?
Oh, I think we did.
Did we make that up? Okay, yeah. Oh well, it's
and then we said, Momo too bad.
Mimi, they're besties.
Yeah.
Too bad. We're rolling with it anyways.
Exactly. You can't stop
We
us.
live in confusion, so it's fair.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, you are right that today's episode is I guess not so much a curveball, but it's gonna be wild. Just like us recording late on a weeknight can be wild. So this will all fit in perfectly.
Perfect.
We'll jump right on in. Today's episode, it is from season 2 and is based on episode 8 of Moville Mysteries. And the name is Curse of the Mommies. And I got really excited at first because I was trying to map out what day this episode would air on our end. I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to come out on Father's Day? How fucking amazing would that be? But it's not, unfortunately. I think it's like a week or so after. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Weeks later. Yeah. I was like, damn, I just missed it. Because how funny would it be to do a Father's Day episode about mothers?
About moms.
Yeah, right. At the end, though, you'll see the spin that I was going to put on it if it did end up being Father's Day. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So we'll begin. And this episode starts with our wonderful host slash narrator, our favorite, Mosley Moville. He is posing a totally normal, not weird at all question to his audience, breaking the fourth wall, so to speak, almost like a regular Rod Serling or Alfred Hitchcock kind of standing off set. And the question he asks us, and it's a good question, but, for a freshman in high school, interesting to be asking it, is, do you believe in signs or omens? And you see, these thoughts have been stuck in Mo's mind as of late, as things aren't quite normal in Ouija Falls. In fact, less normal than they usually are.
First question was, define what's the standard?
Yeah, what is a normal day in Ouija Falls? Well, yeah, probably like your first episode, just green ooze coming out of the buildings, like
the
that's
radioactive
pretty
waste.
Normal.
Yes,
yeah, finding a cursed jockstrap, normal. But today things are a little different. Yeah. Totally standard Tuesday in Ouija Falls.
Yep.
But in this case, Mo, he's trying to get to the bottom of what he sees as an abnormal day or time frame, we'll say, in Ouija Falls. And he's noting he's noting the strange effects that all of these signs and omens that he's sensing are having on what he calls the lower order species, aka like humans.
I wasn't sure if he was going to say
animals.
Gizzard, who's the boy.
Put a pin in that. He's coming up in about 20 words, or maybe a few more than that.
I could feel this lower life form.
Yes. So Mo, he's pacing around town, going around the neighborhood, wondering out loud to himself and thus to us as well. as he gathers various clues to support his theory of strange things happening. And so we'll go through the list of what he finds and notices. First, he sees in a yard nearby the sidewalk that he's walking on that there is a 10-leaf clover, 10 leaf, standing up above the rest of the grass. And he sees this like, well, you don't see that every day, plucks it and puts it in his pocket.
Okay.
And then he later walks by a tree or like a bush that has a grouping of what he calls the woolly bear caterpillar, kind of all, squirming around in this bush together. But oddly, he notices that these caterpillars are unseasonably butt naked, quote unquote, which his grandmother says, I think, is like a sign that like it won't be a harsh winter or something like that.
Groundhog situation.
Literally, yes. And then next, he sees good old Gizzard, who he also calls like Zabo. Is that his last name? Gizzard Zabo or Zabo?
Or
I don't know.
Maybe his actual name is Gizzard is Zabo because who names their child?
Yeah, to be fair. This is Ouija Falls, Grace.
Exactly. You're right. Zabo's also not a normal name.
Yes. I guess a last name maybe, but it
sounds artsier
regardless.
Than my child. Hello, meet my small baby, Gizzard.
Gizzard. Oh, look at his eyes. So cute, little baby Gizzard. So yes, this school bully, he comes up to Mo, and just as Mo thinks that he's getting ready to like punch him or push him down or something, he actually says something like nice to Mo, or is just kind of casually like, excuse me, and like walks by him and actually turns around and like helps some animals in the yard next to him. So not only is Gizzard being nice to Mo, but he's also being nice to the animals around them. And then Mo looks a little bit deeper and he looks up into a tree and sees that oddly there is a like nest of baby birds being fed by a cat, no less. A cat takes like one of those caterpillars and gives it to the birds. And second strangest of all, there's two last things that he notices. The second to last, or the second most strangest of all, Mo sees on a bench across the street from him his good old friend Hitch. On the bench, reading a collection of Shakespeare that he got from the library. And Mo is
Hitch knows how to read?
Not only does he know how to read, apparently, but he never goes to the library.
Yeah, he doesn't know where that is.
Whack. But see, I thought this was the strangest sign at first until the next thing happens a little bit later that Mo also takes note of. And this, of course, yes, strangest of all. It starts raining, not cats and dogs in Ouija Falls, but rather it starts raining little purplish lavender squids from the sky. Sky opens up and squids, the animal, the fish,
like little
squids, multiple tentacles, the big, triangular little pointed heads, squids falling.
Can I
the sky.
Side note something?
Yes,
totally.
Please do.
For like 8 seconds.
It'll help make sense of any of this.
It won't, but it will side note into like only a half piece of information.
I'm here
that
for it.
At some point, this was like many years ago, there was a town, I want to say it was in Kentucky, but that could have been like the meat shower was in Kentucky. There was some place, I think, like in Appalachia or something where like
I don't know if it was the squid shower or the meat shower.
It was like, I want to say it was in Appalachia or some shit. And like goo fell from the sky multiple times. And to this day, nobody knows what it is. But there were like so many theories, of course, conspiracy theories ranging from like, there's a military base nearby. Was it some biological thing? Because a bunch of people got super sick who like were exposed to it. Was it some biological thing? But one of the theories was that somehow jellyfish got like swept up in a storm, like off the coast and got like in a storm system transported over and like rained jellyfish. And I was like, huh?
That seems like the most logical conclusion.
So that's now my theory is that there was a tropical storm that led these squids to be falling in Ouija Falls.
I have a lot of questions about that story. My knowledge of meteorology is pretty limited, but don't most storms move east to west? So like, where would it be? How far from the west would it come to get to Kentucky?
I already
I guess
said I
maybe it
only
came from the
have.
Gulf of Mexico and went like
I already told you that I
northeast.
only had half of the facts of this
That's
story.
fair.
That is
I
also
should
a
never ask
story that like
questions.
happened, but they don't have the facts as to why. And now you're asking me
True.
technical questions about meteorology?
Hmm. I am. I
Well,
need the
let me get my
science
green
behind this,
screen,
Grace. How dare
my Weatherman
yes.
green screen. I'm glad you asked.
And in this corner of the country, we've got a
It's
jellyfish storm cell
jellyfish.
rolling in. Grab your umbrellas, folks. If
It's the
you're down in
SpongeBob
Kentucky, you might
jellyfish
have a little
party.
bit of extra goo. Yes. Dun 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 dun
Dun,
dun dun
dun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun.
dun dun dun
Anyways,
dun
okay,
dun.
great. So there's
Yeah.
squids falling from the sky.
Yeah, so they're squids falling from the sky. Yeah, so that
Okay.
is the final sign that Mo sees that kind of, at this point, he's like, all right, hands up in the air. We've got to go consult with an expert on what the fuck is going on here
Okay.
in
Who is
Ouija
this
Falls.
expert?
Clearly, something is up. So, yes, this expert in search of explanations to these strange occurrences and for assurances that they aren't just warning signs of impending doom and danger from Mother Nature.
Mhm.
Mo, he goes to visit said expert, an oracle slash fortune teller of sorts who works in
Oh.
town. And I gotta say, she probably does really good business in Ouija Falls. This lady's probably rolling in dough because
Oh,
weird
yeah.
shit's always happening here, right?
Yeah.
But this lady, her name is Lizzie. And
Okay.
Grace, you will love this. Lizzie, hilariously, when I saw it, when I saw her, the very first thing
Uh-huh.
that I said out loud was, is that just Shirley the medium from Courage the Cowardly Dog in human form? She literally looks like Shirley the medium in human form. Like the red
Oh.
scarf, the voice isn't as like high pitched or whatever as
Uh-huh.
Shirley's, but like it's like a half octave
Oh
lower,
my
maybe.
God.
I
Like a
mean,
slightly
it's
bigger
literally,
chihuahua.
yes, like a human side. Just it's like, how people have the
Is she
side by
super
side of
old?
like, this is your dog counterpart. Like
Yes.
this is
It is them.
it's Shirley and Lizzie in this
She had like the
case.
big sweater. Is she
Yeah, like kind of
old?
draping over. She's old.
Yes.
I think, she's got a mole or something somewhere. And yeah, it's the
Wow.
same,
Fuck yes.
basically, exact thing. And I meant to look up when exactly the Shirley the Medium
Oh, who
episode
did it
came out.
first?
I forgot. I was like, oh, who did it first? Who inspired
Fired
whom?
who?
Yeah,
Wow.
so
I'm so
nonetheless,
happy.
that's all you need to know about the way she looks. I was like, Grace will get it as soon as I say
Yes.
that.
Yes, that's perfect.
So Mo, he goes to her shop, and he's running through all of these oddities, omens, and signs with Lizzie. And she surmises based on the evidence that he presents, because he shows her the clover. He's got it all laid out on her counter,
Mm.
like the clover. I think one of the squids he picks up and throws down. He took a
Ooh.
picture of Hitch reading the book, and it's like on there in one of these
She's like,
naked
who is this?
caterpillars. No,
Who's this
actually, it's kind of
child?
funny. She looks at it and she's like, "You're right. All of these are the strangest things I've ever seen." Like implying that she knows Hitch is a fucking idiot. Like
This is probably a small
this
town,
is
probably, yeah.
this exactly. This is commonly known in the town of Ouija Falls that Hitch is a dumbass. So yes, she grabs from the bookshelf behind her counter a copy of the ancient almanac called Uncle Elmer's Almanac. And
Perfect.
based on the writings of that almanac and the evidence that Mo has shown her, she surmises that a prophecy is soon to take place. And she
Oh,
explains to Mo and us how exactly this is going to go down. So, first, I think one of the pieces of evidence that he shows her, like she flips through the almanac and says, "Okay, I think it's a 10-leaf clover." She's like, "Well, that is a sign that there will be a total eclipse of the moon paired with an ancient comet passing the Earth." And Mo's
okay.
like, interesting. And so then she moves to the next piece of evidence and she's like, "This tells us that the planets will all align and an ancient comet will pass Earth."
Wait, I'm
And
sorry.
Mo's
I'm like,
like,
is this Avatar?
yeah, right, maybe.
I'm about to go
Now we
fight
know
the
which
Fire
one came
Nation.
out first in that case. Yeah, Avatar, you got some explaining to do.
Okay, go
And
on.
then she
All of these
says,
happen.
the third piece of evidence surmises or explains to them is
Mhm.
that the summer solstice will soon be heralded in. by an ancient
By a
comet that
comet?
has not been seen since the days of pharaohs passing the earth.
Okay, so there's a comet
And
is what she's telling us.
exactly. And that's
Okay.
literally what Mo says. He's like, so there's going to be a comet, right? And yes, moral of the story, ancient comets or comet singular or are about to pass the earth some point soon, perhaps
Okay.
tonight, it seems. So Mo, he rushes out of the store. I think he takes the copy of the almanac with him. She lets him loan it or whatever, or puts it on loan for him. And he, runs home, finds a nice telescope, and he decides to head to a high point in town that'll give him an excellent view of all of these celestial events and space happenings that Lizzie has just described, which also, that would be terrifying if all of that stuff happened in the same day. Like, wouldn't that be kind of crazy? And I'm not, let's get Justin on here to talk about the probability, but how likely is it that all of this stuff can happen at once? I mean,
all at the same time.
Yeah, I would be scared. I'd be like, are the freaking Titans coming from like Hercules or something? It's truly the end of the world. So yes, Mo, he finds this nice spot in the park to watch all of this shit go down. And he's getting his telescope set up and he's preparing to spot the comets. And as he's doing all this, he's also like reading more about all of this stuff that Lizzie was talking about from the almanac. And he essentially he describes or gives his Cliff Note version of comets, like describing what they are, like giant balls of, what does he say, like space dust, etc., like rock flying, hurling through the sky, etc., and says that comets often, give way to ancient omens that signal the beginning of the end.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and of course he like leans into the camera and does a lot of eyebrow work for us to let us know this is serious shit. But more seriously, he loves his eyebrow work. But more seriously, he also reads from the almanac that it is foretold by the ancient oracle, which I'm like, wait, Lizzie, did she write this in here?
Or Uncle Elmer?
Uncle Elmer, he is the ancient oracle. But yes, it is foretold by whoever, Uncle Elmer, maybe, that 3 sister comets shall converge and travel together. And upon their meeting, whosoever doth make a wish, so it shall be granted. Beware! And that, I don't know if that was in the book or if he added that in.
That was a Mo.
But I think that was a Mo. Yeah, that was a Mo.
That was a Mo. Okay, so basically...
a motive MO.
So basically, yes, the 3 omens were 3 separate comments, not just one.
Exactly. That's what I think we're taking away from this. Yeah, that all those omens are signaling. They're all coming together at once now because, yes, there are supposed to be 3 comets. Okay. So I guess, the woolly mammoth caterpillars, like they wanted to grow their fur this year, but they were like, damn, those comets are coming. We gotta,
just, I just can't do it under pressure like that.
Yeah, no, everybody's looking. Everybody's watching. I'm nervous.
Everybody's watching.
So after reading this from the almanac, Mo, he's looking around the park and he happens to spot 3 of his classmates sitting nearby in the park, of course, chatting it up, laughing and giggling together. And this is where our episode today is going to take a little bit of a turn. And we're no longer going to talk about Mo. We're going to talk about these 3 classmates. And they are 3 teenage girls named Alyssa, Beverly, and Veronica. Okay. And these 3, they are best friends. They're thick as thieves. They are the best besties that any teen girls could ever be. And they all happen to be next door neighbors, living by each other in Ouija Falls. Mm-hmm. And as teenage girls tend to do, they often fight and argue with their mothers about things like getting their belly buttons pierced, rollerblading in the house, playing music too loud, wearing skirts that are too short, coming home in time for curfew, and fairly enough flirting with boys who are much, much too old for them.
Parents are in the right.
They are in the right. And we see montages of all these things happening earlier in the episode. So like you'll see when you watch it, yes, the parents are almost always correct in these cases, but that's also our age speaking at this point, now that we are no longer teenage girls. So the girls, they often get together and they vent about how totally lame their mothers are and how they never let them have any fun or do the things they want. Like in particular, right now, the girls are trying to get tickets to the hottest concert in town for the biggest, most famous boy band that every teenage girl in Ouija Falls is absolutely in love with. And that band, of course, we've mentioned them in a past episode, is NSYNC. Actually, not true. They were actually called NSYNC. I just remembered in the episode that I did, my last episode, Milo mentioned them because he was like, "Oh, yeah, actually related," and they actually called them NSYNC there. But in this
maybe
episode,
they got in trouble.
They got sued after episode 2.
Yeah.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah, this is why this is season 2, and they said Instinct, which is also way funnier.
Yes, it is. And of course, it's even funnier because the name of the tour that Instinct is on is called the Raise a Big Stink tour.
Perfect.
I think you see like a green cloud behind it, like that's their logo.
Amazing.
Very on brand. Very on brand. Yes. And so, as you can imagine, the mothers of these 3 girls, they are not at all understanding of their daughter's obsession and overall interest in this boy band. And they refuse to buy them tickets to the concert or allow them to go at all. So, like, they aren't even letting the girls get their own tickets. They're just saying you're not allowed going to that concert. I think it's also on a school night. So, kind of fair. Whatever. So, while the girls, Beverly, Veronica, and Alyssa, are in the park venting about their quote-unquote archaic mothers, they look up into the night sky and see a shooting star or a comet. And Veronica, she's like, "Ooh, I'm going to make a wish." And so she says out loud, "I wish our moms would stop being such total moms." And they all laugh and giggle like, "Ha, yeah, that's so funny." But then they spot a second shooting star / comet. And this time, Alyssa, she makes a wish saying, "I wish our moms would just get off our case." And then again, shortly after, they just you wait.
Okay.
We're gonna keep escalating. So I hope your legs are warmed up, Grace. We're going up to the top.
We're getting straight to the top.
Straight to the top. So they see one last, a third miraculous comet. And then Beverly makes her wish, saying, "I wish our moms could be cool like us." And they're all giggling, laughing at their wishes and joking around with one another. But one of their watches beeps, alerting them that it's 9:54 and that they need to head home to get back in time before curfew. So Mo, he's still over on top of the hill, kind of looking down on them, our narrator. And he sees that and he's like, interesting that they wish for those things. And he continues to ponder the simultaneous eclipse, planetary alignment, and trio of comets passing the Earth, and wonders if it signals the end of the world, much like I did. Like, the Titans are rising up right now. This sucks, guys.
Watch out.
It sucks. Also, you want to celebrate these things, but no.
Were you saying even like so close to then describing the 3 girls, the Titans rising up? I pictured initially the 3 girls as the
fates, or not the fates, the muses. Is it the fates?
No, the fates who like cut the string in the underworld.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God, they always creep me out so much.
Yeah, they're terrifying. So that's what I pictured at first. So not teenage
Mo
girls
is
with them.
Mo is our muse. I can imagine him saying, "Bless my soul, Herc is on
a roll."
Just like going around.
Defeated.
Now I gotta watch Hercules. Anyways, so we always give each other reasons to watch random movies in this podcast. So here for it.
We're always happy about it.
Yes. So the next morning in Ouija Falls, things are even more different than they were the day before.
Okay.
Our trio of teens, again, Alyssa, Beverly, and Veronica, they've noticed something strange about their mothers, who are named, for what it's worth, Jill, Catherine, and Lisa, respectively. For example, as Beverly is, getting ready for school in the morning, she's blasting NSYNC music, like full volume on her speaker set or whatever, listening to their CD. And Catherine, her mom, comes in, and rather than asking her to turn it down and complaining about the noise, she's actually like, hey, this music is actually pretty awesome, and starts like jamming out with Beverly.
Oh, okay.
And then next door, we see our sweet Alyssa sleeping through her alarm in the morning and wanting to stay in bed when her mother, Jill, comes into her room to wake her up. And instead of forcing Alyssa to get out of bed, Alyssa's like, Mom, can I sleep for a few more minutes? And her mom's like, sure, honey, take your time. And she turns the lights back off and closes the door and goes back downstairs. And then next door to her, we then see Veronica getting dressed in a like floor length red maxi skirt. And her mother, Lisa, she stops her before Veronica gets out the front door. And she says, Veronica, there's no way you're leaving in the house in that, are you? Veronica's like, Mom, come on. And her mom's like, that hemline needs to come up several inches. What are you doing? But
honey.
In fact, she hems this shit up like several feet. Because I guess I didn't describe how the girls look. Veronica, she's like really tall, slender, and blonde. Alyssa is like the medium height one of them and kind of has like curly brown hair and wears like baggy clothing and is the one always on rollerblades. And then Beverly is very short and just has like a purple ponytail, I guess, for what it's worth. So I guess for Veronica that matters because like she's so tall and has such long legs that like, yeah, she had to literally hem like 2 to 3 feet off of the skirt. And it's now like a straight mid-thigh, like mini skirt down here. And Veronica's loving it, like walking to school and everything.
Working it.
And these 3 girls, as they're walking to school, they're all talking about how strange their moms are being today and how like they're kind of low-key acting cool and they've seemingly become really chill overnight. And so they're kind of showing like equal parts excitement and concern. They're like, it's so cool. My mom actually rocked out to NSYNC with me this morning. And they're like, yeah, that's normal, right?
We shouldn't be concerned, right?
No, everything's fine. I think they chalk it up to like, I think our moms are all having a simultaneous midlife crisis, you guys, or something like that, which like as a teenager,
menopause is crazy.
It's crazy what it does to you. I guess it makes you like lose your hearing or something too. So later that evening, Alyssa, she returns home and she asks her mom, Jill, what's for dinner? But her mom is too busy gossiping over the phone to cook or to even like talk to Alyssa, essentially. She's just yapping on the phone about, my God, you can't believe what this person at work told me, blah, blah, blah. And so Alyssa asks like, hey, what are we eating, Mom? And her mom's just like, yeah, just go grab a pizza with your friends tonight, honey, like on me, whatever. And Alyssa's like, hell yeah, let's go. Great. So she doesn't bat an eye before booking it out of there, heading to the house and heading out of the house to meet up with her besties. But before she leaves, she overhears her mother on the phone talking about getting 3 front row center seats to the NSYNC concert. And
not so Alyssa, 6, 3?
Not 6, 3.
Okay, interesting. Sucks to suck.
I just put a pin in that. So Alyssa, she shrieks in excitement. She's like, oh my God, our moms are going to surprise us with these tickets to this show. They finally fucking understand us and how important this concert is to us being cool and having a good time in life. And so Beverly and Veronica, they're equally excited to hear this news when Alyssa finally meets up with them. And they're like, yeah, like our moms are also still cool, if not cooler than they were this morning. And so now the girls are getting a little bit more suspicious and they're like, maybe those wishes we made last night did actually have something to do with this. Like, it is really weird how this is happening, right? Right? And then they're like, nah, wishes are stupid. That stuff's fake. We don't believe in all that. So then they just get back to normal and eating their pizza and whatnot.
Okay, we just live in Ouija Falls where weird shit is happening
Weird shit
literally
happens
all
like
the
this all the
time.
time. Again, random Tuesday. This is nothing out of the ordinary. So equally as out of the ordinary, though, is our dear friend Momo, still like hovering around these girls. But again, he's being our narrator and trying to inject himself into the story today somehow. So he is also in this park where the girls are eating their pizza and hanging out. He's in there reading and wondering, and we as the audience should also be wondering if all of us should have wished upon those stars, actually. And perhaps instead we could have wished for something like world peace or an end to hunger and famine.
But
something
instinct.
like that. But instinct, damn it. Instinct. Yeah. Oh my God. Imagine what those 3 wishes could get us today. Good God, the world would look so different.
Truly.
So
instinct would be back together.
They would be back together. They would be doing tour right now. We could get them, the Backstreet Boys, and 98 Degrees all together with our 3 wishes. That's what I would wish for. I don't know about you. There's
we forget to wish for a ticket, and so it's just too expensive. We can't go.
Damn it. Well, at least we brought happiness to other people, I guess. While children starve. As Mo wisely notes, though, after kind of making light of this, like, oops, should have probably wished for world peace and end to hunger. He also notes, as do I at this point, that he has seen enough sci-fi movies to know that these sorts of things often, if not always, backfire.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we begin to see that backfiring come into fruition. The next morning, it's just about as strange as the one before that. The entire neighborhood is woken up by the heavy-ass bass and guitar riffs pounding from the surround sound speakers in Beverly/Catherine's house. But of course, it's not Beverly who's listening to this music in her room. It's the mom, Catherine, who is blasting the tunes from the living room, jamming out, rocking out. Literally, you see like shingles falling off of their roof because the house is like shaking so hard and like the neighbors' houses are shaking. In there. Literally, she probably bought new ones with how cool she is now, quite frankly.
Yeah, true.
So Beverly, she runs downstairs and she's like yelling at her mom to turn down the volume before she blows out her eardrums. Catherine, the mom, she's way too deep in the middle of an air guitar solo to pay attention to her daughter. She's like on the sofa shredding, like, sorry, girl, can't hear you. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of here. I'm busy.
This is my house.
It's my house. You don't pay a damn bill.
I can bust my ear. Beverly.
It's my house and my health insurance. Why are you such a little bitch? Why you being a little bitch, man? Grow up.
Got here,
grow up hair. Yeah. I see you paying for health insurance. So when Beverly goes downstairs or goes into the kitchen, after her mom is clearly ignoring her, she goes in the kitchen to eat some breakfast before school. And all she sees is like leftover Chinese takeout spread out on the table. Like, is this breakfast Chinese takeout? Which hey, been there, girl.
I know. I was like, Catherine is not acting like a 13-year-old. She's acting like a 23-year-old. This is relatable content.
Right. I was like, this is like grad school, like prime grad school, late college years, like in a nutshell. Yeah. So this wholesome and nutritious breakfast is clearly not, it's not what Beverly had in mind. So she's a little concerned at this point. And meanwhile, next door, we see Alyssa rushing out of bed and into the kitchen, like throwing her clothes on as she's running into the kitchen, yelling for her mom, like, Mom, why didn't you wake me up? I'm going to be late for school. But again, her mother, Jill, she's too busy talking on the phone about the Instinct tickets that, she had to fight to get. And her daughter, Alyssa, she's still like, okay, that's right. She's getting the tickets. But like, she's trying to talk to her about the tickets. And her mom's like, I'm on the phone, girl. Like, get at me later or whatever. So Alyssa then leaves too for school. And then finally, again, next door, we see Veronica trying to get dressed, looking all through her closet for her favorite skirt. only to see her mother, Lisa, walk by her room while on the phone with Jill, no less, wearing the exact skirt that Veronica is looking for.
That's the worst one. Out of these
That is.
three, your mom taking your clothes, that feels like the worst one.
That's backwards. Like, Mom, this is supposed to be the other way around. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't right. This isn't right. I'll eat Chinese food for breakfast. I'll, be a little bit late for class, but what the fuck?
Yeah, come on now.
So, yeah, now the girls are severely like starting to worry about their mother's behavior. They're actually really concerned, not only because it's starting to impact them directly, but also because it's making it really hard for Elissa to talk to her mom about where and when they need to pick up these concert tickets that she is convinced are for them. So the girls, they decide, like, I guess we'll just go to the concert venue early enough before the show starts and we'll just get them from will call or whatever. Like, they've got to be there. They're either under my name or my mom's name, whatever. So seeing, that this is probably their only option, they're like, all right, that works. And they decide to just like spend the rest of the, the day after school together to get ready for the concert before heading straight to the venue. And of course, once the girls all get far enough down the street, the moms like peek out of their doors. They all like look out at the same time, like, finally they're gone. God, they were boring us so much. And
they're so fucking lame.
I think they literally say that just without the fucking, without the F word. like, God, they're so lame. Finally they're gone.
Proving
and
our
Catherine's
style.
like, yeah, and Catherine's like, come on in, girls, let's go rock out to some NSYNC. And so like the other two, Jill and Veronica, like run in there and you just hear them screaming and partying as the music's blasting and more shingles are falling off of the roof. And so after school, on the girls' walk, to the concert venue to go get their tickets, they stop in front of a tattoo or like body piercing shop and decide that if they want to get their belly buttons pierced before the show because they feel like it's a perfect time to show off the belly button piercing. I think that's not the best time to get your belly button pierced unless you want to face an infection. But
exactly.
But
absolutely
whatever.
Not.
You got to learn your lesson one way or another.
Yeah, they don't know yet.
But then they figure that now's their best time to do it because, they're on their way to pick up their tickets. They got to do it now before the concert starts. And their moms are cooler than ever. So if their moms are ever to accept this sort of activity, now is the time. Exactly. But when they walk into the shop,
what do they see? Who do they find there?
Who do they see? I mean, do you want to guess who's in there?
Hitch reading Shakespeare.
Yeah. Actually, Hitch, he's elevated from reading Shakespeare to doing Shakespeare tattoos. Yeah. He's performing Shakespeare. Yeah. He's performing. He's rewriting Shakespeare. No. Yeah. They're horrified to see their mothers in this parlor, dressed in like punk rock and emo clothing, all wearing crop tops, of course.
You gotta show them
belly
off.
buttons pierced, nose rings, all sorts of different like piercings and like, lots of like studded jewelry and everything. And apparently one of them says like they have a tattoo that would make their daughter faint if they saw it. I forget which one, but like implying an NSFW tattoo going on here, which would also make me throw up if my mother said it like in that sort of way.
Yes, exactly.
So the girls are rightfully disgusted. They are traumatized and disgusted at this. And the moms all like laugh leaving the shop, like, haha, bye girls, see you.
Bye, losers.
Lame.
Bye,
little bitches. See ya. Not actually. And so the girls, they like slowly, like with a 1,000-yard stare in their eyes, follow their mothers out of the shop onto the sidewalk and look as the moms head towards the car to get the fuck out of there. And at that moment, just as the moms are getting in their car, we see the teenage girl's crush, a much older dude named Ramon, who has like tattoos and piercings and is like driving
This is a young adult man.
A full adult. He's out of college. I'm not even going to say he's 18. He's like a full adult man. And yeah, earlier in the episode, we hear Veronica talking about him, like, Mom, why won't you let me go on a date with Ramon? And her mom, Lisa, is like, he's way too old for you. What the hell? No, of course you can't go on a date with him. So yeah, like he's probably like maybe even in his 30s. I don't know, but it's not a good look. Nonetheless, this guy, he drives by in his nice red sports car and he's like, hey, ladies, how's it going? And the teenage girls give a flirty, like, hi, Ramon, back, but in unison with the moms. Like they all say, hi, Ramon. So the girls are also like, how the fuck do you know his name?
How do you know Ramon?
How do you know Ramon? And the girls tell the moms, like, he's not saying hi to you. He's saying hi to us. And the moms, like, up down their daughters, like, you wish.
Please.
Please, girl.
I saw that skirt the other day.
Exactly. So, of course, as the moms get in their car and drive away, this point is proven when Ramon peels off after them.
Ramon's in the right here.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, not even acknowledging the teenagers, which is actually a very good thing in this case. Like, that is fine. Again. We like this. This is fine. We didn't like you in the first half, but you corrected yourself in the second half.
Yeah.
Still on the fence, though, because you shouldn't have ever even been entertaining
spoken it to them.
But you know what? It's okay. Your new pursuits are fully legal age.
I'm gonna assume that the girls thought that he was flirting with them when he would really just be like, hi, excuse me, I'm trying to get by you on the street, because that's how teenage girls are. So,
or the whole time he was just trying to flirt with their moms, and he's like, oh yeah, those are the 3 girls with the super hot moms. Like, yeah, I'll be nice to them because maybe they'll like invite
their
me
moms
over
in
and
this
I can flirt with their
store
moms.
too.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, that night, the girls, they still decide to head to the overflowing concert venue. You know, you see like a line and a massive crowd outside waiting to get in. And they've got hopes of picking up their, for whatever reason, they still think these
they start holding on to this. That's all they got.
They're like, our moms may be horrible now, but they're not that horrible, right? That's where they draw the line, right? Right? Like, I don't know. As soon as they mentioned that tattoo, I would have been like, oh, fuck, I don't think those tickets are for us.
As soon as our 3 moms drove away without saying goodbye to us, I would have been like, oh.
As soon as I was offered leftover Chinese takeout food for breakfast, I would have been like, damn. Oh. You know, they might not care about us, actually. Yeah. Like, I don't know at what point they should have gotten the memo, but yeah, it's a little too late now. These are the signs and omens that Mo is talking about. Yeah. He's sitting there like, guys, have you not been listening to my off-screen monologue this entire
whole time?
So,
oh no. Okay.
Yeah. So the girls, they're outside of this concert venue with high hopes of picking up their tickets before the show starts. But Alyssa, I guess, since her mom is apparently the one that got the tickets, she goes to the will call to go get them. And she reports back to the other 2 and tells them that the doorman told her that their tickets have already been picked up by some quote unquote trashy chick with a nose ring. This is what Alyssa says. I don't know if the doorman described her this way, but this is how Alyssa relays the message. So Grace, just as you guessed it before, any guesses on who the trashy chick is? We did see him do a little cross-dressing in the first episode. So, you know, you're
true. They actually got 4 tickets. The 4th one is for Hitch.
Was for Hitch. Well, put a pin in them getting 4 tickets because you're right. They did get 4 tickets. But that's right. The tickets were never for the teens. Instead, they were bought by the moms for the moms. And the girls are like, well, so I guess at this point, they still don't get it. We obviously get this, right? But the girls, you know, a few seconds after Alyssa relays this message to the other 2, they decide to head back behind the building just to see if there's any way for them to get in. And at this point, it is confirmed for them that the tickets were never for them because they see their moms in the same like punk emo outfits, all their piercings hanging out. they see their moms hanging out by the backstage door, right by the tour bus for Instinct, behind the venue. But they also see Ramon with their mom.
Oh, the fourth ticket.
The fourth ticket goes to Ramon. And he is flirting it. I mean, he's laying it on heavy right now. Like, he's standing in the middle of them with this like arms wrapped around them, like big pimpin' style, laughing with them, just like, yucking it up and everything. Literally, yes, the best day of his life.
Oh, man.
And the girls are obviously infuriated by this. The bouncer, who's, guarding the backstage door, he lets the moms in because they are apparently VIP ticket holders.
Oh, shit. Okay, they spent that money.
They spent that money.
Okay.
The girls, they're standing by and in complete shock and awe and mild disgust. And they catch Ramon. They run and stop him before he heads backstage. And they're like, why the fuck are you here with our much older and very, very married mothers, Ramon? To which Ramon hilariously responds, age, marriage, that's all just some crazy bourgeois trip, man. Which,
he's like, girls, are you familiar with a cougar?
With a cougar. You familiar with the concept of open relationships? You'll understand one day when you're older. With a MILF. You'll understand one day when you're older what a MILF is, but for now, just leave it to me. So, yeah. And also, this is very funny because earlier in the episode, when Veronica is complaining to her mother about not letting her date Ramon, Veronica quotes Ramon essentially saying that exact same thing to her when she was like, Lisa was like, you're much too young for him. And she was like, well, Ramon says age is just some crazy bourgeois trick.
He was still talking about her mom.
He was talking about her like, yeah, it's some bourgeois trip for like your 50-year-old mom. Like, yeah, if she's only 35 years older than me, I don't care. That's fine, man. It's all good. So, yeah, which also 35 is probably not the right number there, but whatever. Ignore my math in this regard. So, yeah, the girls are pissed off at this point. They try to follow their moms and Ramon behind stage, but they're obviously blocked by security. And Veronica is like actively making threats at Ramon, saying she's going to beat the shit out of him, essentially. It's not working, thankfully. Her girls, cute, but like her girls are holding her back like they really needed to anyway. She wasn't going to get backstage, doesn't matter.
Yep.
They don't have tickets. They're not VIP holders.
Sorry.
So sorry about it. Sucks to suck, girls. So at this point, they're pretty much feeling like they're living their worst nightmare ever and that their lives are over. Which, like, fair if I were in their position. Although they were in the wrong from the jump for the most part. Like, at this point, yeah, like, this would suck. I would hate this happening to me. So, they want to still feel like they're a part of the concert experience. And I guess they want to be there to like confront their mothers when the moms leave the concert. So instead of going back home, they just sit on a bench across the street from the concert venue. And they kind of just like sit there and sulk and cry and whine together about how unfair it is and how shitty of a situation they're in. And eventually, they just kind of like drift to sleep on this bench, in this clearly safe town of Ouija Falls. But as they fall asleep on the bench, we see that infamous trio of comets continuing to move throughout the sky above.
Okay.
But they're no longer traveling together. They finally diverge, and each comet goes its separate way.
Okay.
And shortly after this, the girls are woken up by Ramon, of all people, who's, he's, like, I think he's like honking his horn or something at them or calling them up like, hey, wake up, girls. What are you guys doing sleeping on this fucking bed?
Hey, kids, this is unsafe.
Yeah, this is unsafe. He's like, I'm being a father figure right now to all three of you. You need to get
I'm
home.
all three of your new stepdad.
Yeah, so we're gonna work out the logistics later. It actually works if they live on next door to each other. You just have to like go from back door to back door. Easy, super easy. So yeah, Ramon, he wakes him up and is like, man, you guys missed a hell of a concert. Like, that was so much fun. And he kind of clarifies it a bit, like Instinct, like, yeah, they were okay. They were all right. But your moms, they were fucking wild in there. Your
Also, is
moms
this
are
why this is
crazy.
a Father's Day episode because of Ramon?
No, no, not quite. But that, no, you say it. Yeah, he's coming in. He's coming in as a good stepfather. Honestly, he's taking care of the girls, making sure they get home safely,
Exactly.
watching over their moms as they're going wild in this concert, so
Yeah.
in a way, no,
He's
I guess
not drunk enough. He can drive.
he can
It's great.
drive.
He's the
Exactly.
GD.
No, I guess and I'll just say it now because I'll probably forget to say it later. But really, it was, and because we've established how shitty the mothers are being in this episode, obviously, it was more so to be like, ha, see, look, fathers, you guys are better than mothers after all. This is how they can be. But I'm just kidding. We love both parents equally always here on Saturday Morning Mysteries. It was a joke, and this isn't Father's Day after all, anyways.
Exactly. It's a random day.
It's some random day. So, yeah, their moms, or Ramon tells the girls that their moms were wild in there. And that because they were so wild and crazy in the audience, they actually ended up winning what was called the most rabid fan competition.
Oh.
The prize of that being an invitation to travel with the band on the rest of their national tour. So, yes, essentially, you're invited to be a groupie for the band. Yes, if you are the most rabid fan there.
Wow.
So, as Ramon says this, we simultaneously see the tour bus peeling away from the venue, making its way to its next destination on the tour. And we can actually hear the mothers like laughing, screaming, and partying on the bus as it drives away, still clearly in concert mode. They are obviously hopped up on a whole concoction of like everything that you can think of. People were probably giving them shit for free in there.
Oh, yeah.
With how
You're
wild they
now.
were. Exactly. And so the girls, like, are you kidding me? What? They're going on tour? No, like our moms can't leave us. They can't go. One, it's unfair, and two, like, what? We need our moms here. What are you talking about? So the girls, they run up, they hop off the bench, they rush after the bus, begging for their moms to stay, screaming, yelling, like, "Mom, no, don't leave, please."
That's really killing the vibe of the party on the bus.
I know, right? The band is on there, like, oh. Do you guys
the moms are like, we don't know them.
Chasing? Yeah, we don't know them.
Those orphans?
They're calling you mom. That's weird. You sure you don't know them? Yeah, no, they're totally lame. Or actually, they're like, how cool are we? Yeah, we're gonna like leave our daughters behind. Like, drive faster, get away. And the band's like,
we're just like dads on Father's Day. Oh, that's what the joke was you were gonna make.
No.
Dad's abandoning their kids.
She said
again, we love our fathers. It's okay.
She said it, not me.
It's okay. Our fathers never abandon either of us.
No, we love our dads very much. You guys are great. So the girls, they're running after the bus with all their might, but they're just sucking up all of the exhaust that the bus is leaving in its wake. It's not doing any good. They can't outrun a bus.
No, big surprise.
No. But their fierce screams to their mothers begin to fade. And we then see, the screen kind of shifts or transitions from them running through exhaust smoke. And we then see Alyssa in her bed, rolling, tossing, turning, screaming for her mother to get off of the bus.
Damn it.
It's just, you're like, damn, I did want their mothers to abandon them. I didn't want it to be a nightmare.
Be like broken because when the comet split up, I thought the curse would be broken.
Yeah, I know, and I'll admit, I think that like lost opportunity on the writers here. I think they just needed to end the episode, and they're like, yeah, that'll take too long to explain it. It was a dream. That's like the biggest cop out of every like sci-fi and like horror thing ever. Yeah, like it was all a dream or blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah, it never happened.
So Alyssa, she shoots up in bed and she sees her mother, who's back in her normal clothes and back to her regular motherly bossy self, standing at the foot of her bed, telling her daughter to get up and get ready for school. And meanwhile, Veronica's mother is also apparently back to normal, and she's telling Veronica, like shoving a brown paper bag in her face, like, you need to be happy about like the lunch that I packed you. If you want something different, make it yourself. And then next door, we see Beverly's mom, who also is seemingly back to normal. complaining about the vile lyrics in NSYNC's music and forbidding Beverly from listening to their music ever again. And so at this moment, we then see like a split screen of all three of the teens exasperatingly saying, "Mom," before running in and giving them the biggest hugs they've ever given them in their lives, equally shocking and satisfying the mothers. The end.
Aww.
Yeah, so happy Mother's Day, moms, 2 months later, or like a month and a half later. And happy belated Father's Day to all of the fathers out there.
Yeah, including Ramon.
Including Ramon, all the fathers and the stepfathers, no matter the age differences. Yeah.
I was gonna say, maybe Stepfather's Day is 2 weeks after Father's Day.
Yeah,
and we're celebrating it now.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that was incredible. I bet that one mom still has a not safe for work tattoo though.
Oh no, she does. Yeah.
The moms are still people too.
Yeah. Part of me thinks, maybe, and we'll help the writers of this episode out a little bit. Maybe the curse was broken and the girls actually they just inhaled so much exhaust that they just fainted in the streets. And Ramon is like, "Oh my God, I have to take my daughters home. I have to get them home to safety." So, he threw them in his car, drove them back home, dropped them each off, put them back in bed. The next morning, the curse was lifted. The mothers, they figured out what the fuck are we doing on this tour bus? Oh my God, we have to go back home to our
you guys.
Why are you shoving cocaine up my nose? What are you doing?
Okay, just one last hit and then I'll go home.
Actually, I'll just take that with me and then I'll go home. Some things never change. Yes. So, and then they went back home. I feel like that could be an easy explanation for it. Yeah.
That's what I vote for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Ramon. Again, our unexpected hero of this episode.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow. Ramon, they do it all. He did it all. Good for him.
Good.
Thanks, stepdad Ramon.
He deserves the spot, actually, of stepdad.
He does.
He's put a lot of work in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll add, because there's a lot of or a few bits of subplot that I didn't throw into the episode because I was we're going to go on too many tangents if we talk about this. But the only dad that we do actually see in the episode is, I think it's Beverly's dad. And Beverly, a couple times in the episode, tries to go to him to circumvent her mother, saying, "Hey, mom won't let me do this. Can I do this, dad?" But her dad apparently, and as her mom explains, is your dad isn't fully, what does he say? He's lost his cognitive faculties or something like that ever since we got that satellite dish. So literally the entire episode, you just see the dad TV. On a recliner, sitting in front of the TV, drooling from the
probably
mouth
that recliner
eating food.
From your last episode.
Yeah, right.
Could be.
Just shoving food in his face, watching the most random shit, Australian football, which involves alligators, wrestling football players.
He's not even going to notice Ramon and worming his way into this relationship.
Honestly, he'll probably appreciate it because happy wife, happy life, right? So if Ramon is making his wife happy, maybe she'll cook better or something.
Exactly.
Clean up the house a little bit more. Who knows?
Yeah, the daughter will stop complaining to him.
Exactly. It'll work for everybody. Yeah. So
incredible.
That's the only dad we see. So also if this were a Father's Day episode, again, just kind of shitting on the dad. So in hindsight, glad it didn't work out that way. Yes. But isn't the summer solstice on June 21st or 22nd? What day is it?
I think so. 21st.
Is this a summer solstice episode instead?
There was an eclipse in this. I don't know.
Yeah. There you go. So
perfect.
Something about this is on theme.
Exactly.
Right?
You're welcome.
Yeah,
right?
You're welcome, guys, for giving you this thing you never asked for. Geez, be a little more grateful, audience.
God,
please.
Yeah. This on Podcasters Day. The holiday about us.
How dare you? Not. Please, if you're listening, drop a comment wishing us a happy Podcasters Day because
it's definitely today.
And no one's giving them.
Where is our card?
Yeah.
Just wondering. Wow, great job.
Thank you.
Great work.
So, That is it for today's episode. And I know that next week, Grace is going to surprise us with yet another creepy, spooky, mystery, horrifying tale, perhaps from Ouija Falls. And until then, Grace, who should the lovely listeners and viewers tell about this podcast?
Well, I think you got to tell stepdad.
Yeah. Hey.
Your own, friends, whoever. Tell stepdad.
Tell a stepdad.
Doing their best.
Yep.
And then who should they tell after that?
Ooh, after that, I think you should tell a tattoo artist. Yeah.
Nice.
Someone who does tattoos and ask.
Could be a stepdad.
Could be a stepdad, very true. And ask them what who the oldest person they've tattooed was, and if that tattoo was not safe for work.
I have a feeling the answer is yes.
Yes, yeah, definitely at that age. Well, yeah, who knows? I guess we'll hear. You guys might regret asking them this question because you might hear some details you don't want to hear. I'm actually already
let us know too.
Imagining what you all might hear. But
we'll
let us know.
With you.
Yeah, we're in this together.
Yes,
just like a stepdad is with his new stepchildren. Family. We're all in this together.
We're all in this together. Perfect.
Yes. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.